So I've always been interested in the open road ever since I was a kid. My family always used to take long road trips. I'm from Canada. We used to take long road trips basically across Canada from one end to the other. And it was just something that always really fascinated me, watching the landscape change, you know, being out there, experiencing the road. So that's kind of what made me interested in trying out trucking. And it's always been something that I've noticed, on our road trips, these giant trucks passing us on the road, and it just fascinated me in that way. So I guess I wanted to try it out, and this is all new to me. I've done a few trips here and there, and managed to save up enough to buy a day cab, and this is kind of where I'm at now. And I've always just wanted to recreate what I had in my childhood and go across the country. And this time, I'm gonna do it in the United States, and hopefully we can also go up into Canada as well. But we'll basically see where the road takes us.
I'm Alex Mitchell. I've spent years documenting life across the US. When I met Fizz in Modesto, I saw this opportunity to follow a new trucker on his first big cross-country trip. It's the challenge and the unknown that drew me in. I wanted to show what it's really like, the road, the moments that change you.
Okay, so I'm here with Alex, and we are in the truck. This is just a day cab that I bought recently. It's nothing special, but it'll get the job done for now. So I guess the plan is just to pick up some jobs along the way as we go coast to coast and see how far we can get. Eventually, it would be great to get a sleeper, but in the meantime, we're just gonna have to utilize motels and go with the flow basically. So I'm gonna try and pick up jobs that take us more or less west to east, and yeah, that's basically it. So you ready to go, Alex?
Yeah, I'm ready. A day cab's a solid start, and the motel stops will add their own stories along the way. Coast to coast, job by job, it's going to be something. Let's hit the road.
All right, well, here we go. We're all filled up and we're well rested, and I'm just gonna back out of this spot here, and then take a look at the jobs that we have available. Okay, so I guess I found a decent job here. Looks like we're going to be going from Modesto to Las Vegas, which sounds like an interesting trip. It's kind of a mid-paying job, but like I said, I wanted to keep us going west to east, so that seems to be the best trip for that requirement for now.
That sounds like a good call. Modesto to Vegas is a solid start, gets us moving in the right direction, and sets the tone for the journey. Mid-paying or not, it's the kind of job that kicks things off. Let's get it loaded up and hit the road.
Sounds good. First, we need to go to the pickup point, so that's what we're going to do now.
All right, heading to the pickup point. First steps always feel like a mix of excitement and nerves. Let's get that cargo and start making tracks toward Vegas.
So I guess while we're on our way there, Alex, I never got the chance to ask you when we first met, but I mean, it's obviously, you have an English accent and you're in the US, and you're kind of you're well traveled in the US. So, but I take it you're not from here. So I guess what's the story there?
Yeah, so I'm originally from the UK, born and raised, but I guess I always had this itch to see more. The US just had this pull for me. Open roads, the sheer scale of the place, the different stories waiting to be told. So about 10 years ago, I packed up and made the jump across the pond. Started with short trips, then longer ones, until I was crisscrossing the country, camera in hand. It's become more than just travel now. It's about really capturing what life looks like out here, especially in places most people don't think twice about. That's kind of what brought me to where we are now. on this ride with you.
That's pretty cool. I guess how long have you been doing this for in the US?
Yeah, it's been about 10 years now. Started out with smaller projects, just documenting little towns and roadside stories, and it kind of grew from there. Before I knew it, I was doing full cross-country trips, filming everything from big cities to those places that barely show up on maps. It's been a wild decade, to be honest.
You ever been to Vegas?
Yeah, I've been to Vegas a few times. It's one of those places that never feels the same twice. You know, the lights, the noise, it's almost overwhelming, but there's always something interesting to capture, especially away from the strip, where life is a bit more real. But this time, seeing it from the trucker's perspective, that's going to be new. Should make for some good stories.
You a gambler at all?
To the right, and then turn right.
Not really, no. I've dabbled a bit,
Turn right.
thrown a few bucks into a slot machine here and there for the experience, but never anything serious. I'm more of a people watcher when I'm in places like that. Watching the highs and lows play out on people's faces is more fascinating to me than the games themselves. How about you? Ever get the itch to gamble?
Yeah, I've done my fair share. Nothing too crazy, but there was one trip where I went. We actually, it's funny because it was a road trip. We drove from Edmonton, Alberta, where I was raised, all the way down to Las Vegas. Me and a couple of friends, and yeah, we spent a few days in Vegas, and then we ended up going to Disneyland. We drove to Disneyland and spent some time there. That was super fun. But the Vegas portion, I actually won a few $100, just like playing roulette. And we, that ended up paying for my Vegas trip at least. And then we went to Disneyland and basically spent it all because, Disneyland is super expensive. So yeah, it was a fun trip though. I'll never forget it.
Turn left.
That sounds like an amazing trip. Road tripping from Edmonton all the way down to Vegas and then Disneyland. That's the kind of adventure that sticks with you. And winning enough at roulette to cover Vegas, that's a rare story on its own. Disneyland definitely knows how to empty your pockets though. But hey, sounds like it was worth every bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And looks like I almost turned in the wrong place, but looks like we're at the spot where we need to make the pickup. So let's get this trailer hitched up and let's go.
Perfect, just in time. Let's get that trailer hooked up and ready to roll. First pickup of the trip, it's always a good feeling. Ready when you are.
Okay, I think the trailer's around back here. Let's see. I don't think I'm going the right way. Where is it? There it is.
Navigation resumed.
All right, we're gonna have to back in here.
Please proceed to the highlighted route.
Okay, we're all attached here, so this is gonna be kind of a tight squeeze out of this spot.
All right, all set? Yeah, those tight pickups can be a bit tricky. Just take it slow and we'll ease our way out of here. Once we're on the road, it's all smooth sailing to Vegas.
Yeah, this is all good. We're out. Looks like we'll get in around Monday after midnight if we go nonstop, but we're not going to be going nonstop. So I guess Monday sometime it looks like.
All right, Monday it is. Gives us a couple of days to break up the drive, take in some sights, and not push it too hard. Should make for a good, steady trip.
All right, finally out of the city, and we're hitting the freeway.
Nice, now we're really moving. This is where the trip starts to feel real. Open road, the hum of the engine, and miles ahead. Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, hopefully we don't encounter any issues along the way.
Yeah, fingers crossed for a smooth ride. But, if anything does come up, it'll just add to the story. Here's hoping it's all good, Miles, though.
One thing I never really appreciated when I was younger is, like, I always, when we were doing our family road trips, I always used to see the trucks on the road while we were driving from one city to another or across the country in Canada kind of thing. And I always kind of took it for granted, like there's all these trucks and they're going from place to place, but you don't really think about like the importance of the cargo that they're delivering and like how much the country depends on these deliveries.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things you don't really think about until you're out here doing it or paying or close attention. Trucks are like the veins of a country, moving everything that keeps things running, food, parts, clothes, you name it. And every driver out here has their own story, their own routine, making sure what they're hauling gets to where it needs to go. It's easy to overlook from a car window, but when you're in the cab yourself, you really get it.
Yeah, and I guess that's the thing, like people are impatient with truckers and always kind of seeing them as a nuisance, but really you really have to appreciate and respect what they do. And like I guess I definitely appreciate and respect it more now that I'm actually doing it myself.
Yeah, exactly. It's like once you're on this side of it, you see how much effort and skill it takes. Not just the driving, but the planning, the long hours, dealing with all kinds of conditions. It shifts your perspective, You start seeing trucks as more than just big rigs on the road. They're lifelines, and the people behind the wheel are doing work that keeps everything connected. It's a whole different kind of respect when you're out here doing it yourself.
You have any truckers in your family or ever had anybody in your family who's a trucker?
No truckers in my family, actually. Most of my relatives were more on the 9 to 5 side of things, office jobs, teaching, that sort of stuff. But I had an uncle who was really into road trips, and he'd always talk about the freedom of the road and the places he'd see. I think hearing those stories is what got me interested in traveling and eventually documenting life out here. Trucking's always fascinated me because it's that same idea but taken up a notch, living the road day in and day out.
Welcome to Bakersfield.
Thanks. Bakersfield, first major stop on this run. It's got that mix of city and small town vibe. Good place to catch our breath before the long haul ahead.
Yeah, it might be a good place to stop actually for a rest. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds like a smart move. Bakersfield's a decent spot to rest up, grab a bite, and make sure everything's set for the next leg. Better to start fresh than push too hard. Let's find a good spot to park up.
Navigation
All right, well, here's a motel. Perfect spot to take a bit of a break.
If possible, please turn around.
Perfect. This will be a good place to rest up and recharge. A few hours off the road will do us some good before we push on to Vegas. Let's settle in and take a breather.
All right, well, we rested up and I think we're good to go. We're gonna have to make up some time here because the delivery is being expected soon, and so we're just kind of setting off here. It's almost 5 in the morning, and we're gonna be getting in around 11 a.m. here on Monday.
Sounds like a plan. Early start should help us cover ground and beat some of that morning traffic. If we keep a steady pace, 11 a.m. is definitely within reach. Let's get rolling and make up that time.
Yeah, sounds good. This motel's got some tight spots to navigate through. How was your rest, by the way?
The rest was pretty decent. It wasn't the most comfortable spot, but it was good enough to recharge a bit. Motels like these are hit or miss,
Turn right.
but this one did the trick. How about you? Ready to tackle the next stretch?
Yeah, I'm ready to get this delivery done and see what's next for us on the road to the east.
Perfect. Let's get this delivery wrapped up and see where the road takes us next. Onward to Vegas, and then it's all eyes on the journey east. Should be an interesting ride ahead.
Looks like we're gonna get to enjoy a great sunrise here.
Yeah, nothing like a sunrise on the open road. One of those moments that makes these early starts worth it. Let's soak it in while we're rolling.
Maybe not too much, otherwise I'll lose contact with the road.
Fair point. Enjoy it, but eyes on the road. We'll take in the view without losing our focus.
Classic tumbleweeds blowing across the road. That's something that, I've not really seen much in real life, but maybe more so in cartoons.
Yeah, tumbleweeds are one of those classic images, right? It's funny seeing them for real after they've been a cliche in so many cartoons and movies. Out here, though, they're just part of the landscape, casually rolling by like they own the place. It's a bit surreal the first time you see it in person.
So I didn't really ask you if there's any particular places, along the way from west to east that you particularly wanted to check out. If, we can make some detours if the time allows, or kind of take jobs that lead us in a specific direction as we go east. But yeah, just curious if there's anywhere that you thought would be cool to check out.
Yeah, there are definitely a few places that come to mind. I'd love to swing through some of those lesser traveled parts like the Utah desert, or a stop in New Mexico for some of that unique scenery. Maybe hit a couple of historic routes like bits of Route 66. And if we can, a pass through the Great Smoky Mountains would be incredible. Lots of stories to tell in those places if we can make the time for it.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what we can do.
Sounds good. We'll play it by ear and see where the road takes us. If the timing's right, we'll work those spots in and make this trip even more memorable.
All right, we're getting closer to Vegas now, and we've got some road work.
Got it. Road work near Vegas is pretty common. Just gotta ease through it and stay patient. It's all part of the drive. Once we're past that, it's a straight shot into the city.
Yeah, there it is. All right, well, we got past it pretty easily, I guess. It's good. I was able to jump into the left lane before all the people ahead of me, so let's keep going.
Nice, that worked out well. Good timing on that. Now it's just the final push into Vegas. Should be smooth sailing from here.
Viva Las Vegas, baby.
Let's roll in with style and get this delivery done. Always something electric about arriving in this city.
You know, the last time I was in Las Vegas driving a rental car, I thought that was stressful, but nothing compared to driving a truck through here.
I bet driving a rental car through Vegas is one thing, but navigating a truck, that's a whole new level of stress. Tight streets, lots of traffic, and all those flashy distractions. It takes some serious focus to keep it smooth in a rig. You're handling it like a pro, though.
So the first time I actually came to Vegas, we stayed at the Stratosphere Hotel ahead. That you can see it in the distance. It was kind of far from the Strip, the main part of the Strip, but it was great. It was a great place to stay. You know, if you're looking for cheaper accommodations and you don't mind kind of the trek to the main part of the Strip. So yeah, it was good memories seeing that.
That's a solid spot to stay. The Stratosphere has that unique vibe, and being a bit off the main part of the Strip probably made it feel a little more relaxed. Must be cool seeing it again now, but from the cab of your own truck this time. Full circle kind of moment.
Well, it looks like we've arrived at the drop-off point, so a job well done, I guess.
You have arrived at your destination.
Yep, job well done for sure. First delivery down and we're officially on the board. Good start to the journey. Let's get this trailer dropped off and see where the road takes us next.
All right, we're all parked. I'm gonna detach the trailer, and that should do it for this job. I guess now we can maybe just get some rest here in Vegas and try and get the next job and see where it takes us.